everybody told me, be prepared for anything, like pretty much any scenario, like your biological parents could be dead. They could not want to see you. You could be, they could be very poor. You could be, just, they could have their own family now. They could want you. They might just want to go on with their lives. So they kind of got me prepared for anything. Be realistic about the possibilities, about what might happen.
As far as families that are considering adopting, I think one thing to be clear about is always be honest. Be as honest as the kid can understand, because certainly there were things in my life that when I was 7 or 8 and could understand I wasn't born from mommy and daddy, I wasn't at the place where I needed to know that mom was 15 years old and the father of the house was a parent. It wasn't necessarily age appropriate. But as I was able to understand these things, it was always it was always made clear. And it was always I just think that atmosphere of honesty is very important. And at the same time, allow them to have some kind of feelings of maybe a little lost, confused here and there. Not everything has to be perfect. They come from a different birth mother and family. So it's natural to have those kind of feelings of, well, what does this exactly mean? Just because you're having these feelings and these things happening in these conversations doesn't mean they have to be negative or in any way exclusive. Just be honest. Just be honest, welcome their feelings, and be ready to talk about it.
I think it all boils down to the parents. At least for me, that's my opinion. I think if you're very open and honest with your kids about why this happened, what was going on at the time, I think it makes it easier on the kids than having them find out later in life through someone else, especially nowadays with the way social media is and the way kids can look up anything they want. I mean, who knows what can happen if you try and hide it from somebody and they find out later. That can be a big blow to anybody. But I think it's just treating the adopted child like it's your own, which was happened to me. So I was very, very happy for that, and I think it makes life a lot easier for the kid.
Expect that it can be a very long process. It can be extremely complicated, and you're never quite sure how it's going to end up until you go through the entire process.
It's worth the wait. It's worth the process. Be open to, if you can, to accepting any kind of baby, because you never know what's going to come into your life. Be prepared and stick to it, and it will be the best thing that ever happened to you.
The main key for successful adoption is to be open.
Be patient. It takes a long time. It'll happen. And in a way, we were thankful for the time that it took, and it gave us time to think about what we were getting into and what was going to happen and prepare ourselves mentally.
Having a site like adoption.net is going to help the process go so much better and so much smoother, just to have the references at hand and to have a whole wealth of information kind of at your fingertips.
I know many people who have been thinking about adoption, and many of them are discouraged because, their excuses is I'm getting too old and, whatever. And so the first thing I tell them, okay, I'm old too. And it's not a problem. Age is not a problem. The problem is, are you willing to, to give yourself, to take on the challenge? It is very challenging. And so age is not a factor. If you're in good health, age is not a factor, and you're kind of giving. You're doing some giving to the society, because we need the world needs adoptive parents.
To parents that are looking to adopt, or individuals that are looking to adopt, the biggest thing too is find somebody that needs you and try to help in the situation. I know that it's a long process. It can be very expensive, but it's worth it in the end. You're going to help save a child's life. So I'm living proof.
I think the only advice I would give is think about what you're doing and what you're taking on. Are you ready to be a parent? I had personally had, not concerns, but I wondered what it would be like. I don't have any other children, so this was the first time. I wondered what it would be like when they handed me that baby. I mean, wow. I mean, she might as well be, sorry. I don't get emotional about very many things, but and there's absolutely no difference if Becky had carried her versus the way it happened. I mean, she's our baby. No question.